going on, everybody? Gonna go talk to the clerk of courts real quick.
Pete, this guy wants to film down here.
Of course, any public area we can film in public.
Yes. No, there's no recording in the public area of the court.
I just requested Rule 78.
There's no
Hey,
recording.
Before
It's
you
this
act
guy
all
again,
out-
this guy again.
Before you act all out, I want
We got him.
Rule
I got him.
78 because I have read it before, and it says that I can.
No,
And I'm requesting Rule 78 now.
We follow the law.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
right.
Yeah, right.
You don't.
Watch out, this
Like
guy,
last time
watch
I
this
was
guy.
here.
We know this guy's a hothead, right?
Yeah, he had a problem last time I was here, and he was.
I
wrong.
always do this here and everywhere I go. So, there's no crime. Want to call the cops, call the cops. Got business to conduct.
You seem very prepared for us today. Just like ordering people around.
I just asked them. Thank you.
Yeah, please don't distract me.
Oh, hang on a second. I was here first.
I have,
Someone's waiting on you. Someone's going to get the
No one
information.
never approached. No one approached.
I told them.
Okay, all right, sir.
I'm
All
in a
right, all
different
right.
area.
Do you need family division?
No.
Okay.
Hi, there's a B14 scheduled today?
Let me get Lynn.
Okay.
Lynn? Oh. Let me find out what's going on. Lynn.
You don't speak for me either. I don't know why he's got to be difficult.
This is his thing, man. He's YouTube famous.
Maybe he has nothing else better to do.
Sam Joaquin shared that video of
They
him.
said she'd be back in a moment. by the way.
Thank you.
Lynn should be right back.
Thank you.
Hi. You just having that?
I should have brought the printout of Rule 78.
Yeah.
What time and where?
I'm waiting for the judge to get off the bench.
Okay.
I think that's what I was gonna do.
Really, in the Supreme Court,
He's in the middle of the hearing right
when we
now.
went to the
So I was
Supreme
told
Court,
12:30.
they also
Is
agreed
it, you think
with
it's
us.
gonna, but be around that general time?
Yeah.
And what courtroom?
And the other higher courts.
One, but I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
If anyone comes, Jared comes looking, I'm gonna go start, I brought some work with me, cause I know how these things go, so
'Cause
I'll
they
be
know
hiding
that-
back in probably the JPPO's
That
office.
order
Yeah, that's fine.
comes from the Supreme Court
All I
too.
could do was email
And
him.
they know that it
And I
has
know
no
that
force of
I
law
think his last
whatsoever.
case
Yep.
is over.
Because Rule 19 that it cites actually says we do have permission to
And we had no other
record
judges
in
in the courthouse,
courts.
just in
Yeah.
case.
There's only two.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even a permission slip.
It's
not
it's a
permission.
right.
Better than
It's
what
a
we
right
said.
protected by the First and it's the first of the federal. I'm not sure what it is under the state.
And this is just a form to notify you guys. So technically, I can do it verbally because I don't even have to fill out any forms with you guys. I can just say, guess what, I'm notifying you and filming. That's enough notification. Actually, just holding my camera up is enough notification.
I had a quick brief conversation, and I don't.
So, I don't know what's going on
I
here.
thought they said that that wasn't an option, because it's so good. I'll double check that.
I'm just one to prepare.
And you know where it's coming
Hey.
from, right? Here's over, you know.
That's why I figured.
Yeah.
No, you don't need permission.
That was,
You just
I
need to
almost
notify
stayed in the
them.
office,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
worried that you were gonna go at 12:30.
Well, I don't want them
If
to
you
shut
like.
you down because I'm filming.
No, no,
We're gonna have to
I'm
get
not
lunch.
playing
So
this
I'm like,
game
I'm
with
so
them.
worried.
I know.
But if you find out it's gonna be more
You know.
like 1:30 or 2,
I watched
I'm
your
good,
stuff.
I'll survive. But thank you. If you find it's gonna be like later than that, the PD calls and says I can't be here. till 2.
Nullification
You just let me
expert.
know and I'll go back to the office.
That's my job.
No, I just didn't know if I should prepare the shirt.
Everything they've done has been wrong. Time to write it.
We don't know the.
I'm sick of
we don't know
this.
It's too bad they don't stand up and tell the
And
truth.
it was.
It's okay.
They just make it worse and worse and worse and worse.
I
Add
don't know
more
how
stuff.
you can-
Did you? Oh,
How can you
jeez.
change the charges? How can you change it?
You can't trespass me
So I
from
went
a
through the
public
same
place.
issue with Goffstown, and they threatened to arrest me just like you did.
Okay,
Just like you
so-
guys been trying to
So
do.
And they can't. So what he's trying, what he's saying is, they're trying to
But they never
use
read it. And then I read it to
the
them out loud.
bail
And then
conditions
they're
So
like,
the other
oh,
thing
to
on that-
prohibit me from playing a part
So they were trying to
in
arrest me.
society
I
and
read
being
the
a
rules.
citizen.
But that's not what they
They let me
arrested you
go.
for. They arrested you for saying that they were
Bootlicker thing.
bootlickers.
But then they got bail jumping,
And
or
then
not
they-
bail jumping,
that
breach
got-
of bail.
That got thrown out though, because you showed up and they didn't show up.
Right, oh,
And
you
then
were
it was
there too,
reattached.
right?
Oh, I've been to
Yeah.
the whole thing, I
So-
I think
watched
you
it all.
guys should educate yourselves.
That's what I'm
before
trying to
you
get
enforce
to
any
today,
laws.
and then they tried to resurrect it
Oh, I saw
through
that.
the New
I was
Hampshire
there.
9 thing.
I know.
And I'm not trying to do, so that's why I'm trying to get the whole court,
You got this.
the whole thing right now, and we're gonna go hash that out with the judge, and we're gonna get a continuance regardless,
Yeah, I
but
hope so.
hopefully it gets dismissed.
That's what it's supposed to do.
But at the very least, we're gonna get a continuance on this thing,
Yeah. Well, you're in the right.
you know, change it the day before trial, they wanna throw a whole new.
Right, the
And I don't
truth is gonna
care.
come out, whether they like it or not, the truth is coming.
And I don't, I mean.
So all they're doing, adding that in there is a whole nother element they have to prove, or a
Right.
number of elements.
Sure. They're
So
giving you more stuff to.
it's like,
use
you're
to
making your
find
job
stuff.
harder, you should've just left it as
So who do
a,
I talk to? Where are they?
that's the thing, right?
Here's your forms, by the way. They put
Those are
them
the
front and
forms.
center for us.
Oh, do I have to use a form?
Lots of
Well,
forms.
Look, see, this is how I did it. You can
All right, yeah, 'cause
Copy
I've never
exactly
done
what I-
this before, so I don't know what I'm doing here.
copy exactly what I did. All day, anonymous, audio, video, and today's date.
I don't know what I'm doing. You notice they dropped my charges and nullified them like it never happened,
Mhm.
except for the 2 years of torment that they gave me. Oh well,
What's going on with the other,
I really don't know. Oh, I love it. OMG. Well, you know what they did with the physical therapy licensing in Massachusetts? They changed it from the Department of Licensing to the Department of Public Health. Imagine that. How interesting is that? Department of Public Health Licensing Board for physical therapists who now have to have their doctorate in order to practice?
right.
It's insanity.
Instead of trying to take my rights away, you should be trying to protect them.
Upholding the oath that they took.
I'm sure the who was in on that.
What's that? Oh, it's insane. It's insanity. It's okay. There's a whole other society that's coming up parallel to this corrupt one anyway.
Yeah.
There's a house of cards collapsing right now.
Big
They know it.
time.
They know it.
It's happening.
time.
Yeah, because we're all awake to what's going
It's
on.
happening. Yeah.
We're gonna replace all these public officials' positions with
Well, they think
It's
we've
funny,
gone
what
away.
we call COVID
Moralistic
narrative, because I know this dude's a
Because we're
massive
quiet,
Nazi.
they think we've gone
I hope you
away.
guys are, ooh, and I hope you didn't get your boosters or any of the shots, to be honest, because all these suddenly,
Oh no, my husband's sick as a dog.
oh,
Yep. Going to Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, going to a hematologist, going to other ORGIs. I doubt he'll be able to.
that whole narrative has collapsed, and
No,
they're
my husband's
admitting
gonna
that it's
die.
all bogus.
Yes, that's because the Free Staters are taking over.
No,
Because we're
not
taking over to
necessarily.
let you be free.
Not just Free Staters. There's
No,
a
it's
whole
all over.
group
This
of-
is-
Oh, yeah,
I
It's
mean-
I
we,
understand.
it's not Free Staters,
Live
it's
free or
we
die.
the people. It's all humanity. We're gonna stand up. for
New
the
Hampshire's the forefront,
tires.
though. We're the
New
lead.
Hampshire is the leader. We are the last. Everybody looks to New Hampshire. Just saying.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. So I had a huge argument because we never talked about it.
Soon we'll be able to open carrying courts.
February 10th, I've been.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. I like that a lot, too.
Because I don't see why the people that we're fighting against are allowed to have them, and then we're not. It's kind of ironic.
Get some act right in them real quick.
I had blood work done, I was 26 December, I had blood work done in my skin, but it was time for me to try resting force exercise,
They're still trying to figure it out. They could just print the rule out. And
What
then-
does it go? Oh, there's for you.
Looks like they're on the phone.
Rule 78. Is that what it's called? Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
What's happening is there's infiltrator
Hello.
from the other side.
We're here a little early. We got to see the court record, and of course, this guy's giving us problems about filming.
He's good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
He likes to physically intimidate, threaten.
get real riled up until he goes in there and they're like, "Yo, chill out."
He's famous.
You know, I try to tell him. That's my video got shared by this legend. That's the only thing that got shared.
What does the saying go? If you don't like it, go to Massachusetts.
This is for today. For before minutes.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, here we are. Thank you very much. All right, shall I read it? Shall I read it out loud?
You can't bring him in through this way, you gotta bring him in through the sheriff's back way.
I didn't bring him in. The Airfield PD did. They,
Well, come here, because they said they would do.
They would do.
Yeah, I'll give it to, I'll find it.
Run back. Ooh, doo, doo, doo. So what do you got there?
This is Rule 1.4, photography, recording, and broadcasting. But hold on a second, let me just get this 78 on here. They only printed out 1.4, which is Circuit Court Rule. Okay, Circuit Court Rule.
And then you want Supreme Court Rule 19. That's the one. That one too. You want Supreme Court Rule 19. That's the banger right there, bro. That's the thing it's built off of.
All right, Rule B says we can film here. Right here.
Rule B.
Yep.
I guess they have a juvenile here.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Hi, I'm trying to
This is your rule. Yeah, we're submitting. We've already tried to submit these. That's
We
mine.
can't take them anonymous. We need names.
No, you don't.
I was instructed.
Fourth
I can
Amendment.
be here
That's
anonymously.
fine. You can.
We
Well,
just need a name.
nobody. That's fine. Don't worry about it then. So I have trial today, and I need to have a look at the court record, and then we're gonna need to have it brought up for the judge as well. I'm sure. I just wanted to give a heads
I
up.
think they're already upstairs. The files themselves are already
All of them
upstairs.
are up there. The
Yeah.
whole. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Must be dangerous people in
They're threatening us right now.
My name's Red.
What's up, man?
What
Good, how you
does this
doing?
thing say?
Howdy.
Calvin, you don't remember me?
Footloose.
Met a few times.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Take me a minute to remember
Yeah,
your name.
I don't get out often, so it was more my
May I
fault.
record under the Free Keens pass? All right, there we go. I don't even have to fill out the form apparently.
So, all right.
Free Keen publicist.
We're gonna go up there. I gotta go check the court record. So I'm not meaning to run. You good? Let's go. We're good. Don't worry about any of that. Freaking guys. Hey. Yeah. Oh, my knee. Pete Hamilton, YouTube superstar.
I asked him what your strategy was, and he says you're hoping
Fuck
to
around
ask
and
for
find
convenience.
out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my strategy.
So you're asking to continue, but from I'm a former court activist myself.
Yep.
Anything you do to refocus on the prosecution's burden of proof and they don't have their evidence is just kind of a quick, easy way to gain some leverage. So, keeping that in mind.
No time yet?
Hurry up and wait.
There they are. This guy. It's a powwow in there. I need to take a look at the court record. I need to take a look at the court record.
I turned it down.
Oh, damn it.
Sister didn't want me to do it. He didn't.
I don't have any
I don't even.
Is the court giving you a hard time about it?
No, they said it's up here.
Oh, Clerk. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so they're just, are they gonna?
So I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's there. Well, that's what they said to go up here.
Oh,
They said it was already up here.
That episode's gonna be about.
So I don't know.
probably judges looking at it.
Right. All right. We'll just.
So you need to look at it before we start, I'm guessing. Gang.
I would like to kind of. Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's what I'm gonna tell Aria. I'm gonna tell her she's gonna think about that because she's asked every
Yeah,
time.
everybody's gonna do it.
Bunch of fucking bootlickers. Fucking bootlicker party. You guys gonna lick each other's boots in there? Have fun licking each other's boots. Yeah.
It's a bootlicker party. Are they in there?
I don't know.
Please keep outside courtroom 3 for criminal cases, thank you. No, that's just papers. Unbelievable.
Okay. Bootlicker party.
They'll notice the same thing that
Boop, 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 ba-doo. Got to,
Still on that, you got refused. I'm with the
So that's the reason I went to the thing, was I didn't want to talk to the lawyers together. Really good, I know. Yeah, my girlfriend drove me there, I didn't even know where we went. They thought I was from Sanchez. I don't know anybody. But I think it's
this is what they gave us that time. Defendant present, charges not filed. No, so it's here with pen and arraignment. 114. So it's 114. You were there, and then it came up again. Right, yep.
Hi, sir. Hello. Glad you're taking good care of my friend.
Yeah, no problem.
The whole crew here.
Don't look at me. Just
Alright, so that. This is this.
No, I know you are. That's what they just did in Massachusetts. They changed the licensing from the Department of Licensing. So we'll look at the guess what that is.
First appearance in court shall be provided a complaint. So that's what happened. They didn't have a complaint. But they tried to, and then they want to resurrect it through the New Hampshire 9 April 15th. I think that's when they try to do that. So what's that? 3 months, 90 days later from this, the original appearance.
Against that bill, here.
They want to do it. They want to try to.
This is the minister of my church.
Can't be wasting people's time like that. It's just wrong. They don't even want to be here.
You know, what if I wasn't? It didn't show up. If I didn't show up for that first day, I would have been screwed. Hey. Yeah, you know, another day. This guy.
My whole family. Nobody comes. You guys are
This is for
at least I'm on the right side.
charging ID. It's the same charging ID. There and there. I don't know if they're all witnesses. Hey, what's good? Are they all witnesses? Are they all witnesses? None of them are testifying? Yeah.
No, they are not testifying.
Are they on the New Hampshire 9 case?
Oh, do you mean the other defendants?
The other one? No. Are they witnesses in the other case that you sent me? Who are?
None of these folks are.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get them to identify. That's fine. What is it? It's too shiny.
Baldessari.
Baldessari. So you are on one of them. And then who are you? Farmer. It's too shiny. Farmer. Frost. That one's nice.
Malalay.
Malalay. I don't know if you guys are on either of those cases. And you are?
I'm not a witness in here.
That's fine. Are you? Do you work for the state? Dan, state issued.
They all wrote false reports about me. My charges were no photos. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, Baldessari. Yeah, he's one of them. So he's one of the ones on the 9 case. Don't rise.
Good afternoon. Please be seated. Right. These are the cases of the state of New Hampshire versus Frank State. Case numbers 429-2021 CR 3652 and 429-2022 CR 254. Would everyone please participating in this hearing identify themselves for the record?
Hello, Attorney Charles O'Leary, representing the state of New Hampshire.
James Shepherd, also to the state of New Hampshire. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Staples?
Sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Staples. Could I beg you to come forward, please?
No, I'll stay right here. Thank you.
Do you have any objection to the defendant being behind the bar?
I don't.
I've never passed the bar. I'm not a member of the bar, so I'm not going to pass the bar from here on.
Well, we're...
Right, I get you. I don't, yeah, the gold fringe and everything, I'm not going to consent. We can do it from here. So you guys, however you want to do it, you want to try and drag me behind the bar? Good luck.
Just as long as the defendant is cautioned that he can't receive counseling as sources unless they're enter an appearance in this matter, and I don't have an objection.
Okay. All right, sir, we'll indulge your desire to not come forward, so you can go from there. I do want to address, before we get started, the issue of recording and broadcasting this hearing. The court's received 2 requests pursuant to the court's rule on advance notice about audio and video recording. And so I'm approving these 2. So I just need, and unfortunately, where it says name, it says anonymous on both. So I actually don't know who has made the request.
I mean, people, we have a right to record, okay? Everyone has a right to record. I don't know if you want to go down that road today. We've done this in many other courts.
Sir.
I'm just saying.
Sir.
People have a right to record without permission. We're all recording, okay? You can't stop people from recording.
2 people can record because they filled out the prior notice. Ma'am, you filled out a prior notice?
Yes, and I wrote my name, Greg 1776.
That's fine. So you're authorized.
And I've been filming my stuff since the beginning.
I just want to make sure that I get this clear, is that we don't actually have to fill out a form of just notify, right? So I'm notifying you that I'm recording.
No, you have to fill out a form.
All right, I'm the one that said anonymous then.
Okay, so you wrote anonymous, you can record, sir. Sir, did you submit a form?
Yeah, in like 2012 and 2013. Would you like to see it?
No, that's not going to be sufficient. Well, I'm going to authorize you.
The Supreme Court says.
The Supreme Court says it's okay. The one whose rule you're trying to use, or order, it's actually an order. And you should look up Supreme Court Rule 19 real quick, okay? Because that says we have permission, we're allowed to film, okay? We don't need to ask permission. You can't keep us. This is a First Amendment right, man. It's protected activity.
It also cannot be denied. It's
Right, it can't be denied, okay?
I'm not addressing you, sir.
You're addressing everybody who's trying to record.
You did though.
Let's go. Let's get this clown show started.
It's not a permission slip, it's a notification.
Bootlickers. Fuck around and find out. Shit. No fucking victim. What? I don't watch my language. I say whatever I fucking say.
Sir, I'm going to permit you to record as you've indicated that you're a registered member of the media. So I have 2 pre-authorizations from people who wanted to record. That was you, sir, and you, ma'am. And so you 3 people are authorized to record the proceeding.
Oh, thanks. We didn't need your permission.
All right, we're ready to proceed.
I'm ready to proceed.
No, I'm not ready to proceed.
I would ask with respect to any witnesses, I expect to call Lieutenant Baldessari as my first witness. I would agree, and I would submit to the court that the defendant should agree, any witnesses who are going to testify should be sequestered unless they're in the court to testify. So I'm going to call Lieutenant Baldessari. Any other witnesses for the state will be outside. And I don't know that, I haven't received any information from the defendant on who he intends to call as a witness. What I'm just indicating is if you intend to call witnesses during your case, anyone you intend to call has to be outside of the court until they come in to testify.
Sure.
Okay? Fine.
So yeah, whoever, see you later. You're not a witness for the thing. You're just a witness for when I showed up, and then now they're trying to like resurrect this thing from the dead and change it this whole way and railroad me. Not gonna happen. So I was. You were at the legislative. Were you?
No.
So he was actually he was there. Is anybody else at the when I called them bootlickers? You were there? Would you be a witness, possibly, if necessary? And anybody, you weren't there. So yeah, if you guys could step out, please, that'd be great. I think I'm gonna be seeking a continuance here anyways. I mean, this guy, I got this in the mail yesterday. I got this yesterday. So you think I'm ready to go to trial now that you just threw a whole nother multiple elements in here? So are you cool with the continuance so I can research this?
I'm prepared to go forward on the case with regard to the 1013 matter, and I think nothing has changed on that. That's been the same.
What do you mean? You're amending the bail.
That has to do with the legislative
All right,
office.
gentlemen.
Wait, this is the legislative office building.
No.
What is this?
This is the
So just
governor's
as a
council.
first- as a
No,
first
no.
matter-
Right.
As a first.
No.
No.
This is not the governor's council.
I'm issuing a sequester order, so that means that any witness who is going to be allowed to testify in this trial must exit the courtroom and not be present for anyone else's testimony, and shall not discuss any of the testimony that they hear in the courtroom with the witness during the proceeding. Is that understood? Do you understand, Attorney O'Leary?
Yeah, I do.
Mr. Staples, do you understand?
What's going on?
Mr. Staples?
Is she a witness? Get up. No, sir. This paperwork that I have says
Mr.
I'm here.
Staples, we're addressing the sequestration.
Yes. What are you talking about? I said everybody should be sequestered, but we're trying to figure out what this is about. We don't know who to sequester. There's two things that you guys are trying to talk about. You're saying I'm here for something when I'm thinking I'm here for something else.
Mr. Staples, I just want to make clear that I'm not going to allow anyone to testify who you call, who might be present in the courtroom during the presence of anyone else's testimony.
Right. And so what is going on here? Because I thought this was the disorderly conduct legislative office building thing. That's what I have on this paperwork here.
So as a preliminary matter, Attorney O'Leary, you filed a motion to amend the complaint in case number 429-2022 CR 254.
Right, that I would call it the second case. It's the second time case from November 19th. I have filed that. I've sent a copy to the defendant. I also filed a motion to amend with the court. But it's my intent, in terms of my witnesses, it's my intent to go forward on the matter that deals with the legislative office building, the police standards of training, because it's first time, it's October 13th, and I have my witnesses here, and we're ready to proceed.
I'm not.
No.
So
You don't intend to go forward? You're asking for...
he's pulling the rug out on the one thing.
254.
I don't fucking think so.
I intend to go forward on the 10/13/2021 disruptions, disorderly conduct charges at the police standards of training.
Correct.
And I have all my
Number
witnesses here.
429-2021 CR 3652.
Correct.
What about the other document?
My understanding, based upon my witnesses and the amount of time, is we probably won't even get through that. But I am prepared to go forward, and I have my witnesses for the first time case, and I'm ready to go forward with that. And I would start with Lieutenant Baldessari. I expect that I have 5 witnesses on the case.
So I still haven't even gotten the discovery from these guys. Remember when I asked you to mail it to me? You never mailed me the discovery.
I've said this.
When the lawyers, when?
You had counsel before, you said all.
The counsel was never my counsel. They were standby counsel, and this is the other thing. I was prepared to try to get this legislative office building thing dismissed on procedural grounds, okay? Because I was here already, and I have witnesses there that were here with me for that incident that I'm here for today. That this is what it's saying. I was supposed to be here today for that.
Mr. Staples?
So,
Are you making a motion to dismiss?
yes,
Okay, what are the grounds of the motion to dismiss?
because they slid in this new charge after I was here. This is the original charge: disorderly conduct, breach of bail. I was here on 1/14 for this hearing, and then the state wasn't here. I sat here all day, and the clerk signed this, and she said the defendants weren't filed. The charges weren't filed. Nothing was filed. And then I was here on a completely different matter months later, being represented, or I was supposed to be standby counsel, and these guys are giving the information to the lawyers that aren't even representing me. They're standby counsel. They're not sending anything to me directly. And these lawyers haven't been sending anything to any of the other clients directly either, for that matter. So my point is, I'm not prepared to go to trial today. I don't know if you know that I also have head trauma. I get confused easily. And I mean, this dude can't just keep changing the shit. What if I wasn't here that day? I would have been found guilty. So then 3 months later, April 14th, they file new charges, and they completely change the facts. You can't amend facts on a complaint. I was arrested for calling these bootlickers bootlickers. And then I said, fuck around and find out. Okay? And then they changed the original charge from me being arrested for bootlickers, calling them bootlickers, to I said, fuck around and find out. So how are you going to say now that I was arrested before I said fuck around and find out, but now you want to charge me for that? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Why am I not getting arrested right now?
Mr. Staples,
This is a joke.
let me just kindly ask you to lower your voice. I can hear you.
I told you I have head trauma, and when I get excited, I lose control of the volume of my voice. You want to go research it? I can't help it, okay, when I get excited. And I feel like I'm outnumbered and threatened by these people. I don't know why all these extras are here.
Right, so just...
They got guns? You guys got guns? Do you have guns on? Get out. Can you guys get these out for trying to intimidate people with guns on in here? They're not even here for any real reason. And the witness. Get this dude out of here. I don't know. He don't care.
Sir, you've made a motion to dismiss. I'd like to be able to hear from the state what their position is. Attorney O'Leary?
Your Honor, with respect to, I think he's talking about the second case, if that I understand what he's saying. With respect to the second case, what I can indicate is, my understanding is there was an arraignment back in January when that arraignment was scheduled because we had just converted it to the J1 system. I think complaints were filed, and they weren't filed properly using the J1 system, so they didn't proceed that day. The defendant was back later because he had already been arrested and had underlying charges of disorderly conduct from the October 13th event. And when he came in on the date of that hearing, represented by counsel, attorneys Stans and Jens, we refiled the complaints alleging the disorderly conduct and the breach of bail. So those were properly filed, they were properly served on him, and I believe they're properly before the court. With respect to the breach of bail charge, I recently filed a motion to amend that, indicating language that alleged that he was in fact breaching his bail by being at the legislative office building, which violated Judge Spath's original order, which was a follow-up order to the bail commissioner's order, namely Susan Sarkosh, who ordered him to stay away from 1,000 feet away from the governor, the executive council, or any place where they may be. And it's our contention that he did that. So in any event, based upon that motion, I have asked the court to amend that because I believe, based upon case law, we are allowed to do that. I gave him notice of that, and it's my expectation, if he wants to address that, that would be something we would address next Friday, because that's what I anticipate, if we were able to get started today, we would then be able to go forward with the second case next Friday. So my answer is that I think we can follow proper court procedure with respect to serving him, with giving him notice of what he's being charged with, and giving him an opportunity to be heard.
What about Mr. Staples' argument that this matter should be dismissed because he doesn't have discovery?
Rule 4.
My understanding is he has the discovery. We sent all the discovery to Attorney Jets and to Attorney.
They were never hired to represent me on this case. They were only representing me. Hold on. Were they representing me in this matter?
Please stop. Please, I'm saying from Attorney Walker.
Yeah,
I'll give you a chance to respond.
it was my understanding that they were counsel. At some point later on, during one of the later hearings that we had in front of Judge McIntyre, he indicated he didn't want them as counsel anymore, and he was essentially firing them, and he was going to proceed on his own. But the discovery was provided, is my understanding. All of the discovery was provided to him, so we would have it through them. If he doesn't have it, and we're scheduled for that next week, I will remake him all the stuff. I'll take the stuff out of my file and give it to him. He can take it, and I can get copies.
New stuff too, because I know there's new stuff.
I don't have any problem with that. My understanding is he had all the discovery which was sent
No.
out.
There's been new stuff too that's been sent to them that I have not got since. Okay? So, and hold on, Jens and Stanton were hired to represent the group at the Executive Council, not the Legislative Office Building thing. That was just me. And I was up there standing side by side with the lawyers, and we have it all on video, and everybody here knows I was representing myself that whole time, but these guys wanted to make it look like they were doing the right thing and giving this stuff to the lawyers, and no, we want them to be representing him because that's how they slid it in the back end. Not going to happen. Rule 4, anyways, the initial proceedings, the copy of the complaint has to be given to me at that hearing. They never gave me a copy of that. So that's a violation. It says, shall be provided with a copy of the complaint on that day of the initial proceedings. When I was here, I never got one. Never got a copy of the complaint. And now they've been trying to change it and morph it from that I said bootlickers to I said fuck around and find out, which is a completely different fact after I was already being arrested. Okay? So they can't amend facts in a complaint.
Mr. Staples,
So I've also tried to object to them amending those facts, but they also slid that in with that other judge and those lawyers that weren't even representing me. Do you see why I'm so upset right now?
Mr. Staples, Attorney Bradford Stanton filed a full appearance in connection with this case.
I don't know why. I never hired him for it. So he can't file on something that I never signed. Get the fuck out of here. I never signed for him to come and represent me. That shit is bullshit. No way. No fucking way. No fucking how. I need discovery. We need to have a continuance.
You were a different judge. I was here and
Completely.
you said it wasn't represented by that person.
I've always said this whole time, I'm like, so you're new to the judge. She had to recuse herself. Why? After all this fucked up, dirty shit happens in the court record, and they're allowed to slide this thing in completely different that these lawyers were never hired to represent me on. We were running out of money for the other shit. That's why I backed out and represent myself. All right? So, my mouth is really dry. I don't know if I can get some water in here.
My understanding was, it was certainly my understanding based upon having those lawyers.
Of course, it's your benefit.
I will agree with Mr. Staples that at some point in time in a later hearing, he indicated his displeasure with them, and he didn't want them to represent him.
First, from not true. See, not true.
I don't know. I wasn't privy to
Liar.
the discussions. All I'm indicating is that we provided the discovery, and as far as us sending additional information to Attorney Jens and Stanton, since that had to do with scheduling matters, based upon an order from the court about setting up times and possible dates for when we would have trials on the other matters. And I believe I could actually have my co-counsel, because I think he was the one who spoke with and had emails back and forth, and then ultimately filed some documentation with the court. So I think if he's referencing there's been paperwork that has gone to that counsel since he separated himself from them, I think that that's accurate. But I'm telling you what I understand it to be is not additional discovery material, but information in response to the court.
And we know your judgment is suspect. So we don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure.
Represented by counsel who filed an appearance, discovery was provided to that counsel.
No, I was never, listen, hold on a second, sir. This is even before all that. I'm trying to get to something before all that.
Mr. Staples, your motion to dismiss and your motion to continue are untimely, so they're denied.
They're untimely? So you're denying because they're untimely?
I'm denying.
I've tried to bring this stuff up while these dudes were pretending to fucking represent me. And the whole time, in every goddamn hearing, I said, these lawyers are not representing me. These guys aren't representing me. We got it all on video. All these people have seen it. Okay? So you're not going to tell me those guys were representing me. And then I don't have access to their freaking digital files that they give to everybody. I was cut out of that at some point as well. Okay? So the point is, for this thing here, Rule 3, the complaint can't be amended. That other judge allowed the amendment, and she didn't allow a hearing on the matter. She just let it go to change the facts on the complaint, the original complaint that I never got, which is when I was charged for saying bootlickers, calling them bootlickers. And then they completely changed the facts. You can't amend facts. So you're going to allow those facts to remain amended by that judge who recused herself? Is that what you're telling me? And then what about Rule 4? Shall be provided. I didn't get that. Is that why? So they could change completely change the charge in the case and the facts?
Mr. Staples, your motion is untimely. You can't show up on the date set for trial and complain that you haven't received discovery when you were represented by counsel in this proceeding and when you had ample...
Which one are you taught? Which proceeding? Because there's two proceedings. You guys are trying to make me...
opportunity to request discovery from the state of New Hampshire prior to today's hearing. So if you didn't...
I asked him in person, dude.
Discovery, you should have made a request for that. And if it was denied...
I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a lawyer. I asked this dude, you remember? I asked you to send me the discovery in the hallway. I have it on video. Yeah. You know I have it on video, so.
I've denied your motion.
All right, and that was on what matter? The executive council thing? So this is the problem here. I'm very confused as to what I'm even doing here. I don't know if you can tell.
We're addressing case number 429, 2021, CR 3652. You're facing 4 Class B misdemeanor charges.
Right.
You committed the...
Those two, I was charged with 2 originally, and now I got 4 of them. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about that I have not gotten. Okay? So if you want to try to force me to proceed with that, I'm going to have to try to say, who was there at the New Hampshire 9 thing? Are you going to try to force me to proceed on this at least a partial day? I thought I was going to have another day because I got notified of a half a day on the legislative office building thing, and then I thought the executive council thing was next Friday.
Trial is going to proceed on the case involving conduct alleged to have occurred on October 13, 2020.
Right, the executive council thing. So that's what I'm saying. I got notification that is on Friday, next Friday.
I think that the notices, I had a discussion with the clerk, I think
And I do have this.
notices for both cases on both days.
This is in the court record, sir.
I called up the clerk.
I did file a timely motion to dismiss.
The-
Okay?
Your Honor.
This is on the court
Can I be
record.
heard?
Months ago. When is this?
Sir, can I be heard?
January 22nd.
Sir, can I be heard? I got the same notices that the defendant apparently got. And what I received from the court, we had originally said,
Attorney O'Leary, I have a scheduling notice right in front of me. It lists these charge ID numbers and it indicates the trial is on March 10th, 2020.
good, okay, so
Right here.
Thank you.
Sir, hey, take that. I mean, look. This is what I got. Look,
You could present
send
that
it-
to the judge. You could present that.
I'm
to the
not
judge.
going back there. I don't know if that says those 4 charges are March 17th, right here.
It also says it on the other day. Come forward.
I'm not coming forward. I already told you
I'm
that.
asking the witness
Oh.
to come forward. Sir, would you raise your right hand?
Why wasn't he sequestered?
Witness is armed. He hasn't started to offer testimony.
And he's armed.
Any other witnesses who may testify on this matter having to do with the legislative office building need to be sequestered, okay? I don't see anyone else here who are witnesses for the state. Everyone else for the state is outside.
Hold on, because she might be a witness.
Is this regarding November 19th or October 13th?
October 13th.
So whoever was at the New Hampshire, the executive council at the training standards, you were there, right? No, yeah. No.
October
All right.
13th.
October
Is
13th.
this
Here's
regarding
the
October
announcement.
13th?
Yes.
This trial that's going to start right now concerns conduct that is alleged to have taken place on October 13th, 2021 at the Police Standards and Training Facility. Anyone who is in the courtroom for any of this testimony
I don't have notice of this
will
today.
not be allowed to testify in this proceeding.
This says these 4 charges are next Friday, March 17th. This one says day 1 of 2 days, March 10th, on the disorderly conduct, and then the disorderly conduct and the breach of bail on the March 17th again. So, like I said, this shows the 4 disorderly conducts from that day and charge IDs for March 17th. What day is today? The 10th. So we're not going to proceed with this at all. Fuck that shit. March 17th, I'll be back. The other thing's been continued because he wants to change everything, okay? And I'm going to need time to research his whole criminal trespass thing. You're not going to pull the rug out from underneath me and make me do this trial a week early. Hell fucking no.
Mr. Staples, you received a scheduling notice.
Right here.
Indicated that this trial will take place on March 10th.
No, I did not. I have them right here. Can you see them, please? And you'll see.
Want me to bring it to him?
No, ma'am.
Somebody, the clerk, come on, man. Give him these things. This is what I got. You're not going to tell me that this... No, hell fucking no. I don't care how we got to do this. It's not going down like that. Not going down like that. I'm not going to allow it. I have a fucking loud voice. I can hoot and fucking holler all goddamn day. You can put me in contempt. Whatever the fuck you want to do. Let's fucking do it. Listen, you're going to look at this and you're going to see that I'm right. And I'm scheduled for this shit next fucking Friday. And I'll be back then.
Mr. Staples.
Fuck around and find out. I'll be back then because we're not doing the legislative office building, right? I have proof. I have proof. You say you have proof, I fucking have my fucking proof. Okay? Get fucked. I don't care. I'm out of here. I'm here for the legislative office building thing because that's what I got in the mail right here. Day 1 of 2.
Mr. Staples, you want me to respond to you.
I don't want you to do shit. I'm gonna walk out, dude. I'm gonna walk the fuck out of here because I'm not here for that. I'm dismissing the fucking case. I'm dismissing the case. Oh, let's go forward. Let's just go forward with it. Yeah. Let's go. Keep going. Let's go.
Mr. Staples, I just want to make
Nope. We're gonna keep going because this is how I'm gonna beat the case.
is
You want to force me to go to trial today? Go ahead.
is a scheduling notice that indicates
Force me to go to trial today.
day 1 of 2 days will begin on March 10th, 2023.
I don't have that.
The charge IDs for this case.
No.
So we're going to proceed with this.
You can go ahead, man.
All right.
I'll get it dismissed. Find me guilty. I don't give a fuck.
Would you raise your right hand?
So,
Do you swear the testimony you're about to offer this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Would you please state your name? And you spell your last name for our record? Yes.
Daniel Baltzar, ASSARE.
Mr. Baldassari, do you have a title currently?
Yes,
What is that?
Lieutenant.
And back on October 13, 2021, did you have a title for that?
Yes,
What was your title?
Staff Sergeant.
And where were you employed, or where were you working at back on October 13th of 2021?
For the Division of State Police Troop D.
Okay. And in terms of, can you give us a little bit of your background and training? When did you become a state trooper? How long have you been working in that capacity?
Yes, I was hired by the Division of State Police on October 17, 2003. Since then, I attended the 134th Police Academy. Since being hired, I've been assigned to several troops, including Troop E, Troop D, as well as major crime. In 2017, I was promoted to the rank of sergeant. And in 2021, I was promoted to the rank of staff sergeant, as well as to the rank of lieutenant. I currently oversee the Troop D barracks as a troop commander.
Thank you. And in terms of October 13, 2021 specifically, you indicated you were a staff sergeant at the Troop D barracks here in Concord, New Hampshire.
Right.
In that position, did you become aware of and requested to do something relative to a governor and executive council meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us a little background? I mean, have you ever attended a governor and executive council meeting before?
No, I have not.
Have you ever been required in any capacity to provide security for a governor and executive council meeting before October 21st of 2021?
No, I have not.
So, based upon your position at Troop D, were you requested to get involved in providing security for a governor and executive council meeting?
Yes.
Okay, and can you give us a little background as to, because it sounds like it would be
Relevance?
to be there.
Sir?
Is there some reason you went and were tasked to do that?
Hang on.
Relevance?
You have a relevance objection?
Yeah. What's the relevance of this?
I think you're going to hear testimony as this goes on that there were a number of people at this location, a number of security people there.
Who's the victim?
You're going to hear testimony, just as a way of an offer of proof, that was in response to there having been a disturbance or a problem at a governor and executive council meeting exactly 2 weeks earlier at the Institute of Politics in Manchester.
Is this?
This witness is going to address why he was tasked and what he did in regard to that.
That sounds reasonable. Your objection's overruled, sir.
So based upon getting some sort of contact or information, were you tasked to do something relative to the October 13, 2021 meeting?
Yes.
Okay. And why was it? I mean, where do governor executive council meetings normally occur, if you know?
Typically, they occur in the State House.
Right. In chambers that are designed for that, correct?
Correct.
So was this request to go to another location unusual?
Yes.
And can you tell me, without getting into particular details, had there been an earlier session of the Governor Executive Council down in Goffstown?
Yes, that's the same.
And was it your understanding that based upon how that session either got started or didn't get started, that there were concerns about security going forward?
Correct.
Okay, and so based upon that, did you have some understanding of a task that you needed to do relative to security at the meeting which was going to occur on October 13th?
Yes.
And based upon that, did you coordinate drawing up some plans with other folks to make sure that there was adequate security at that location?
Yes.
Based upon your
Adequate English
efforts, were you a point person? What was your role with respect to putting together the plan to provide security at the Governor Executive Council meeting?
I was, for lack of better terms, the OIC of the event. So.
What is OIC? Just
Officer in charge. So
Okay.
people
Thank you.
above and below me, that information kind of ran through me, to kind of be a conduit both sides.
Okay. And is it fair to say that just from the perspective of sort of regions within the state, that the training facility here in Concord falls within the general area that's covered by Troop D?
That's correct.
Can we, excuse me, my ride, I thought he was gonna be, I have to tell him he can go and has, cause he was sequestered for the legislative office building thing. So can I pause and let him get out of here, skedaddle?
I have
Can
no
go?
question for that if you want.
I'm sorry, I just realized that. Thank you.
Okay, so. May I ask the court security to find out what's taking Mr. Staples so long?
Yeah, he wasn't there. You can stay if you want. Sorry about that.
Please proceed.
Thank you. So Sergeant Baldessari, after, first off, in terms of your rank, I know you said you were staff sergeant, was there actually a lieutenant at Troop D on that day?
No.
So is it fair to say that in terms of the barracks at Troop D, you were the highest ranking on-site
Relevance.
person?
That's correct.
Relevance.
So,
What's the relevance of his rank?
I think he's just trying to establish.
Dominance,
what
something, some sort of.
What the command structure was on the day in question.
What does that have to do with anything? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Because ultimately, he may be someone who orders people to do certain things at the site, and I want to make it clear that what his.
Attorney O'Leary, I've overruled it.
Thank you, thank you. So, based upon putting together the plan and having the people for security in place, did you have some idea as to what time the meeting was going to occur? The governor and council were going to be at the police station to train.
Yes, it did.
And what time was that?
When they were supposed to start or?
Yes.
Or arrive?
When they were supposed to start?
10 o'clock.
Okay. And 10 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
And were there plans made with respect to allowing members of the public to be present and to observe the proceedings?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that the area where this executive council, governor executive council meeting was going to occur would accommodate many more people that would be able to attend from the public if it were at the legislative chamber?
Correct.
False. How many is in the legislative office building and how many at that were there? It wasn't the same. There's way less people allowed inside.
Mr. Staples.
It's just factually false. I'm gonna object to his
Mr. Staples, this is.
statement.
This is direct examination.
That's fine, but I can still correct him and tell you that that is completely patently false.
No, sir.
There's the upper thing and there's the whole thing.
You have to reserve.
It's called simple
You
math.
have to reserve your opportunity to inquire to cross-examination.
Oh, I'll get to that too. Oh, I know that. We'll get to that part at some point.
Right.
Sure,
But you can't
but
just make
he can't just
spontaneous-
lie his fucking way through this whole goddamn thing, all you guys. You think it's gonna go good? No. This is how it's gonna be. This is how I do things. Fuck around and find out, dude. Nullification of unconstitutional bullshit. 9th and 10th Amendment. Okay? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Staples,
That's what I'm doing.
To whatever extent you had an objection, it's over.
That's fine.
Please proceed.
Sure. Let's go.
So, Lieutenant Baldessari, with respect to the capacity was it expected that a number of people within the public at large would be able to attend and observe the proceedings that morning?
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, was there some consultation with the fire marshal about exactly what number of people would be allowed into this hall?
Yes, there was.
And with respect to people arriving, do you know what time approximately the governor, Governor Sadhu, and the executive council members arrived at the location?
It was around 9:30.
Okay. And at some point in time, when the meeting was due to start at 10, did the governor and executive councilors come out to the location where the meeting was to occur?
Yes.
Okay. Can you, we're going to have some video here to be able to watch, but can you give us a general idea of the location where this meeting was occurring, and then just sort of an idea of where different groups might be within that setting at the time the meeting was due to start?
Yes.
Please tell us first off, where was it at the Police Trainings and Standard Council building?
So it was held in the Technical Center.
Okay, can you describe for the court, I don't know if the judge has been there, so can you describe for the court that location?
It's a large auditorium style, like a gym, off to the side of the academy. It's wide open, flat. There's a stage to the right as you enter. That's where the governor and the council members were, as well as the attorney general's was seated up at the stage as well. And from the stage, it was blocked off with a rope partition for a space. We then had 3 sections of seating for the public, left, center, and right row. If you're facing the stage, to your left, state employees or any members that were going to testify or speak on at the meeting were seated there in front. Behind them was the press, and the public filled in those 3 rows I already described. Off to the right, there was a long table with several members of the state police staff, as well as others, members of state police standing in different locations of the building, entrances and exits. Behind the row of people, there was a curtain that blocked off part of the tax center, which had other members of staff behind it.
So backup units in case it were not going well.
Correct.
I'm going to ask, if I could, I've got someone here who can hopefully work the video, and then we can have a visual of this location for the court's opportunity to look at. Okay, Sergeant Baldassare, if you could for a moment, would you mind stepping down, just so you can point at Mr. Staples? Obviously, I want you to be able to watch this, so hopefully from your vantage point there you can see.
Yeah, it's all up on my channel.
What do you
We got all this.
What do you want me to point out? Just in general, you talked about there being 3 separate areas for the public.
Yep.
Is this 1, 2, 3, for lack of it? Over here you described, as you're facing the stage, it would have been to the right, an area that was set up with people, command staff and other folks, mostly state police and security people, correct?
Correct.
And then, not in this picture, but a little bit further over, to this side, Mr. Staples, hopefully you can see that.
Sure.
There's an area where there is people who are going to be recognized to speak at the meeting. state
Lobbyists and
employees,
media people.
And behind them, folks from the press. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's the setup. And in terms of the stage where the governor and the executive council are, and then off to the side where the attorney general and some other people are, is that up essentially in this area?
Right here.
Okay, and is that area elevated?
Yes.
Okay, and is it fair to say that from the edge of the stage, there's some area that's open and then it's cordoned off so that essentially the public is behind where this open space is? All right. But is it also fair to say, in looking at this, that in terms of what we were talking about the fire marshal and the public, that it did allow for a significant number of people to be inside to observe this proceeding?
Yes.
Okay. You may return, we'll just leave it there for now, so that we have it.
Yeah. Most of it was cordoned off. Such a huge space.
Okay, Lieutenant. So at some point in time, did the governor and the executive council come out to commence the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall, was there any sort of a general statement made about the conduct at the meeting and what was expected?
Yes.
Okay. And was that directed to the crowd who was there?
Yes.
And with respect to the crowd, at some point in time after the general announcement of the proceedings, was the governor, did the governor then lead the crowd and the people there in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Maybe we can get that up. Thank you. I'm going to play a clip of that. First off, I don't know, Sam, do you have the initial statement about the conduct and then the second statement with respect to after the Pledge of Allegiance?
Here, the discussion is going on. Councilors and commissioners and the staff of the state of New Hampshire. So we're just waiting for a couple more minutes and we'll get the man up there. So here we go.
Wow, baby.
Correct.
Other folks are on to hear the discussions going on, so there isn't interruption in the meeting. And if we're all to rise, I would have a prayer and a pledge to kick us off. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, that kind of disruption is not going to be tolerated. We want
Disruption. That was a disruption. So this is what we're getting arrested for? Yeah.
Sorry. At that point, at the end of the Pledge of Allegiance, did you hear some yelling out catcall?
Yes.
And based upon that, did the governor repeat about the conduct of the meeting and what was expected?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Where's the cat calling?
At some point thereafter, was there an instance where, again, voices were raised and there was some concern about disrupting the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall whether there was a lieutenant or, excuse me, a sergeant specifically designated who went over and spoke to Mr. Staples?
Yes, I do recall.
Okay. Again,
Where's he?
do you know who that sergeant was?
I do.
Who was that?
Sergeant Greg DeLuca.
Okay. And again, because of your role in this, are you the person who would have designated to him to go over and speak to Mr. Staples?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall doing that?
Yes.
And do you recall why you asked Sergeant DeLuca to specifically go over and to speak to Mr. Staples? What had you heard or seen that was causing you some concern?
He was, making some disruptive remarks during the hearing.
Okay.
What were they?
And you could hear it yourself. And so the action you took was what?
I believe he said it's a lie.
Okay, and what did you ask Sergeant DeLuca to do based upon hearing him say that?
Until I know not to interrupt the meeting again.
Okay.
We're still doing our best to resolve it, but again, it brings something up that didn't happen. Yeah, thank you, Governor. I mean, I'll follow up, but that was after the invitation that the Secretary just gave. I think that we have more information for our health and human services, people to know. I'm disappointed you don't know the answer to that question.
I'm also going to ask, do you know whether or not that admonition by Sergeant DeLuca was also picked up on other footage that was taken by people who were at the location?
I believe it was.
Okay, did we get that?
So we're gonna accept all these refugees.
That wasn't me.
Basically, what they're saying is it's up to the federal government.
I know that wasn't me.
So they are taking away your jobs, taking away your freedom, but allowing the Afghan people into the state, and they can walk free and clear. They don't have to be worried. Right, so
Do you recognize who did that
state
video?
troopers are coming over.
This is that is red hat, red. Can you identify the person?
Clapping there, there's clapping there.
I got
Sort of a lot going
I mean,
on right now.
What's
crazy.
There's sort of a lot going on right now.
Can you pause and go back a little bit, a couple of frames back, please? Thank you.
This is crazy.
Right there. Can you just pause
And?
there? Lieutenant, can you come down and maybe for the court point out who is in this video and who is, or if you can do it from there, that's fine.
That's Frank Staples in the red sweatshirt and red hat, talking to Sergeant Greg Luca.
Okay, and he's talking to Greg DeLuca. How much time has gone between what you said to Sergeant DeLuca to go over and when Sergeant DeLuca is there, in your estimate?
Less than a minute.
Okay.
Where did you tell him?
And it was in response to you hearing Mr. Staples say what?
It's a lie.
Okay. So you saw that, you've seen this video, this is consistent with your recollection of what happened at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Was he arrested at that point for yelling at?
No.
Okay. At some point in time, coming forward thereafter, was there, after he had received this specific statement or talked to Sergeant DeLuca, was there a general admonition given to the people in attendance based upon their behavior?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall who it was who delivered that admonition or statement?
That was Sergeant Megan Walsh.
Is she also with the state police?
Yes, I'm sure.
And is she also out of Troop D in Concord?
Yes.
Okay. And who directed her to give a general statement to the crowd about their behavior?
That came from me.
Would it come from you? And was it,
Through other
What?
channels, but yes, came from me.
all right, and was that based upon, even after this statement to Mr. Staples, there being additional disruptive behavior?
That came after that, correct?
Correct, okay. And so, Megan,
Hearsay.
that admonition.
Hearsay.
I'm gonna ask that we play, if we could,
Objection,
that
hearsay.
admonition.
There's an objection on hearsay grounds, which
I mean, why aren't these people here testifying about, why aren't those officers here to testify about it?
They are here. I can call
Okay,
them.
well then,
It's just a-
so why don't you just ask him what he's ordering them to do? And where's he getting his orders as well?
She is here.
Right? Where are you getting your orders, bro?
What's the question?
I think he's making a hearsay objection, and what I'm.
No, what's your question to the lieutenant?
Did you see Miss Walsh or Sergeant Walsh give that admonition?
Yes.
Is it captured on the video?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to play the video with her announcing to the crowd the admonition and what specific instructions she gave them.
Objection. If we're gonna watch the video, we're gonna watch the whole thing from beginning to end, so you can see the character of the crowd yourself. We can all watch the whole video, because that's the evidence. The whole thing is the evidence. And I'm hoping that Governor Sununu is here, or if not, I would like to see him here next Friday for part 2, because he's the one that gave the initial admonition, which is, I actually don't have the complaints, like I said, that show I should be here next Friday for that. I don't have those 4 complaints, but I do know that they say that basically Chris Sununu is the victim. Chris Sununu admonished us, and then we all, said amen and things like that. Apparently I said it's a lie, but I don't know that. This is the first time I'm hearing that. I was told I clapped and made a loud noise. That's what I was charged with on the complaint that I last saw. But I know that they've been amended. So can I get a copy of the complaints, these 4 complaints right now, please? Is that possible? The clerk could get that for me?
Mr. Staples, you were arraigned on these charges when you came to court.
With those lawyers who weren't representing me, we don't want to go through that again.
Well, Mr. Staples.
Which is what I'm telling you, these things were amended,
Mr. Staples,
and I didn't get them.
The record indicates that when you came to court, you declined to cooperate with the arraignment process. So if you
That's
don't
not
have
true.
copies of
What do
the
you mean?
complaints right now,
I declined to, when? What date is that? What date does it say that?
your objection's overruled. Please proceed.
And I was here to see that court stuff. I tried to see the clerk today to go through that so I could have all that, and they said that, no, it's up in the courtroom. You can check it up there. And then you guys just started. So I haven't even been able to see all that. Jesus. Fucking
With
joke.
respect to the admonition from Sergeant Walsh, I'm going to ask that be played if you can.
Objection, did she admonish me, or was it anything that I said? No. So what's the relevance of her admonition to the general admonition to the crowd?
You can explore that on cross-examination.
Okay.
I just want to note for the record that that was unintelligible.
Okay, I think we may have another clip of the same thing, so maybe we can get one. Can you turn the volume up if you would mind, please?
It's already to the max. They already have it like jacked to the max. That's why you can hear squeaking shoes.
So we're going to be arrested for disorderly conduct if we disrupt the meeting.
So that was a live stream right behind my shoulder the whole time. So if they have me saying anything, it should be there. Just saying.
Okay. So
Right behind my
with respect
shoulder.
With respect to
Guardian angel.
Sergeant Walsh, did you hear her give the admonition to the crowd? And specifically, as best you can recall, what did you tell the crowd?
She gave a general warning that any more disruptions wouldn't be tolerated and could result in arrest or disorderly conduct.
Okay. And after that occurred, at some time thereafter, was there an incident that was brought to your attention with respect to noise being made and a concern that led to you to give an order to have Mr. Staples and, the lady sitting next to him arrested?
Yes,
Okay, and, is that also depicted on the video?
yes.
Okay, and do you recall who it was you gave that order to?
Sergeant Rico, Vince Rico at the time.
Okay, and do you recall who it was who brought to your attention the fact that there was a problem, that there had been a disruption, and that they were asking what should we do about it?
Yes, it was then, Major Chapwood.
Okay, and from your vantage point, were you able to specifically see Mr. Staples do whatever it was that Major LaVoy came up to you and asked about?
Not directly.
So you didn't have a direct line of sight on that, but you spoke to Major LaVoy, and based upon what he told you, you then directed Sergeant Rico to take some action.
Yes.
Did Sergeant Rico take that action by himself, or was he accompanied by another member of the state police?
He was accompanied by another member,
And who was that?
Sergeant Rico.
The same one we saw on the video earlier going up to Mr. Staples'